Okay, we're going to continue with tolerance. Look at a question that's a little bit more involved. It says find the upper and lower limits and the tolerance level on the area of a given rectangle. Okay, so if we were just given this measurement, you know that the upper limit would be 6.5 and the lower limit would be 5.5. Okay, but this is not asking for the upper and lower limits of the measurements. Okay, we're supposed to find the upper and lower limits of the area. So how do we find area? Okay, well, area is length times width. So what I'm going to do for the upper limit, this would be the biggest possible area. It would be 6.5 times, and the biggest that could be is 2.1. Okay, and if I multiply that, I get area is 13.65 centimeters squared. All right, let's do the same thing for the lower limit. Again, area is length times width. Okay, but the lower measurement will be 5.5 for the length. And if I take away 0.1 from 2, I'm going to end up with 1.9. Okay, and if I multiply that, I get 10.45 centimeters squared. So now let's figure out what is the tolerance. The tolerance is what is it from the highest to the lowest. What is the upper limit? Take away the lower limit. And this turns out to be 3.20 centimeters squared. Okay, so you got to look at your answer to find the tolerance here. All right, notice that the way tolerance is written, it kind of looks like uncertainty. Okay, it's important to remember that the tolerance is not uncertainty, but rather the acceptable range of a given measurement. Okay, so I know they look the same, but they're not the same. However, when the tolerance is not provided, so sometimes the tolerance isn't given, then you will use the precision of the measuring device as your tolerance. So let's do an example of that. So this baker is measuring milk. She is measuring using a measuring cup that is precise to 1 fluid ounce. The recipe calls for 8 ounces of milk. What is the tolerance interval for Beatrice's measurement? Okay, well, if you think about this measure, so let's think of a measuring device here. It's saying that these are going up by 1. The markings are, or the precision is 1 fluid ounce. Okay, so now if you think about that, that means that we would have an uncertainty somewhere that it would be half of that, plus 0.5 or minus 0.5. So the measurement or the tolerance would be 8 fluid ounces plus or minus 0.5. Okay, so what does that mean? The tolerance interval would be from 7.5 fluid ounces to 8.5 fluid ounces. Okay, so I hope that makes sense why it's plus or minus 0.5. If you looked at something a little bit closer, so this is, let's just say this is 3 and this is 4, and if the liquid was this far in the container, would you say that's 3 or would you say that's 4? Well, we can be out as much as half of that 1 unit. So that's why we say 0.5. Okay, what is the tolerance for Beatrice's measurement? The tolerance is the difference from the high to low. That's 1 fluid ounce. Okay. The same manufacturer allows a tolerance for the neck measurement of a men's shirt to be plus or minus 1/8 of an inch. Their men's shirts are sold in half-inch increments of the neck measurement. For example, 14.5, 15, 15.5, and so on. What is the tolerance of the neck measurement of a men's shirt? Okay. Well, we know that, let's say that the shirt we're looking at is the 15-inch shirt. It could be, the upper limit would be 15 plus 0.8, or sorry, 1/8, and the lower limit would be 15 minus 1/8, so it would be 14 and 7/8. So how do I measure the tolerance there? The tolerance would be up 1/8 plus down 1/8. It could be as much as 1/4 of an inch from one to the other. Okay, so we're basically looking at what is the range from the biggest to the smallest. Okay, what are the maximum allowable measurements that can be sold as a men's shirt with a 15-inch neck? Oh, well, there you go. We were just going to do that. So 15 plus 1/8. So the upper limit would be 15 1/8 of an inch. This is the upper limit. The lower limit would be 15 minus 1/8, which would give you 14 7/8. Okay. So that takes us to the end of that lesson. If you can do assignment 5 now, that would be great. We can go over that next class.